City, Okiwe, Imo State, to make comprehensive provisions for its due management and administration and for related matters 2024. Second reading taken.
I'm saying
the country is burning, but when Akpabiole has something to say about that, because I actually heard him when he said that, people, it's true, the price increase of the petroleum products is a tough one. What we are going to do next is that we can assure Nigerians that there will be no more increase. Okay, there will be no more increase. And if there's going to be any increase, the Nigerian Senate will intervene and kind of check the reasons before they allow it. They are fooling you. You know that. We don't. Somebody's speaking or saying something on that, right? Here. First, Mr. Disu.
There are many ways to skin a cat, and there are many ways to achieve something. And I don't believe in mono thinking. I believe that there are other ways by which we can effect the change of things like this, but it's not for me now to come and start being an Aluta professor on radio. Okay? It's not by demonstrating on the streets alone. That's not just the way. Come on. Think it through. Just that it will be a marathon. It won't be a 100-meter dash. If you want to change things legally, you can. If you have the resolve. Do most of us have the resolve? No. Most of us want other people to do these things so we can now enjoy a better environment. But it can be done legally, without violence, without any death. You need to open your eyes, expand your mind, and see in places where it has been done without a drop of blood, without anybody having to go to court. We just need to open up your minds. Even if you study your constitution, there are many provisions there for you to effect change if you are not happy, without dropping one drop of blood and doing anything illegal. I don't support anything illegal or violent. It doesn't make sense. Some people will say, I'm ready to die for this country. Me, I don't want to die. I want to live to fight another day. So you need to do some deep thinking and then have the resolve.
Us now so ever they speak grammar. I don't want to die. But there are ways. There are legal ways of changing things. People don't. Okay, tell us now. They won't tell you. Because everybody just wants to sound like a talking head. I'm a talking head. When people ask what is the solution, there is no solution that will not require bloodshed. Now, the problem is, do you have to make a natural selection? So do you have to make a physical selection of the blood to be shed? Or you just let the law of natural selection to take its course? Which simply means, yeah, people will die, but there will be a change if they sort of, persist in their demand of, we want this done, we want this done. Yeah? Yeah, maybe people don't want to die, which is what most people are like. I don't want to die. But you know what is happening? Every day, the law of natural selection is taking us out one by one. The rich, the poor, the powerful, the powerless, the relevant, the irrelevant, that law of, you know what is called the law of natural selection? It is the one that's in a sort of a destroyed country like that of Nigeria, where you have a poor infrastructure due to corruption and incompetence of different rogues. There are people who are like who are going to fall victim of bad road, get involved in accidents, and then die. There are those who are like going to fall sick and preventable sicknesses that are not really supposed to kill them, and boom, they'll just tell you saying don't die, right? Law of natural selection. The corrupt system that they have created, right? Where you are just minding your business, I feel stray bullet from overzealous a police officer that wanted to shoot an Okada man that failed to give him a bribe. And you are there just minding your business, yay, you don't die. Or you are just trying to kind of make ends meet, right? Going about your normal daily legal also, and boom, you get kidnapped. And as you are kidnapped, in the process, they kill you. So many things can happen in in a society like that of Nigeria, that every day people die. Others, I had this, my very good friend, whose brother traveled to Nigeria. Okay, he's lived in the UK for about 25 years or 27 years. He's British. He's British. So he traveled to Nigeria. And that is not his first time. He's not been to Nigeria for like 20 years, but he started going back to Nigeria the last 5 years. So his second time of going back to Nigeria was this year. So something happened. He felt sick. I think it's because of the water or something there, right? And they said it's malaria. What do they call that thing? Like malaria. So they started treating malaria. Then within just 2 days, 2 days, things got out of hand. In the middle of the night, he started shaking so badly that they were like, you need to go back to the UK. But they needed to stabilize him. Like, let's try and stabilize him first before he's kind of like, strong enough to fly. So they took him to the nearest hospital. He's got money, paid them and all that. They put on drip on him. And by 12 noon, that day, he died. He died. Somebody who have all he needed here. God knows what he went through before he finally got himself to where he was. He died. We don't know, maybe because they said they were treating malaria. Malaria, bao. Something started yesterday morning, day one. The next day, he's dead. Just like that. In Nigeria. Law of natural selection. So those are people that will tell you, me, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Let us go and face these people. I go face them. You want them to just kill us? I know, let everybody should go and. But meanwhile, you are dying, whether you have money or you don't, whether you are living in that contraption or not. Once you enter that space, the law of natural cause will take its charge eventually. And then that could be you. That could be me. That's one thing I'm so afraid of coming to that Nigeria. I'm not afraid of all these people that always love to, because most of what they like to do, if they don't like you, is to put you in their prison and all that. I'm not really afraid of something like that. I'm afraid of something worse, something that is going to get out of hand so fast that you cannot really do anything. If they send me to if somebody uses their police, for example, now, or DSS to kidnap me, it's still good. At least everybody will know where they have taken me. But nobody needs to kidnap you or anything. Anything can just happen to you. Just like that. You may just get robbed. Like somebody said on this program last night. You may get robbed and somebody may just see this Aloku phone. Imagine somebody trying to take my Aloku phone because it's probably cost something in Nigeria. Okay. Like, okay, they can still sell this one for maybe 200,000 naira in Nigeria, cheaply. That's something that somebody can take from me, and because of that, kill me. Imagine killing me because of a used phone. So that is the law of natural selection in a country that is so lawless that these criminals have sort of been in charge. You can just get killed because of your car. Somebody wanted to take your car. Yeah, you get shot, taken to the hospital. And they begin to ask for police reports. Please treat him first. Please do something. Say, no, we cannot touch him. Oh, we need police reports. You rush to the police station. Please, police, give us report. They say, you need to pay us 200,000. You need to give us some money. Say, this person has been shot. He's going to die. No, we cannot. You need to answer some questions. Say, what? Law of natural selection. So nobody want to die, but they will tell you there are many ways of changing. There are ways of fighting. How do you fight criminals who are out to kill all of us? Everything, all their actions shows that you are going to get killed. Nigeria is going to kill you. And it doesn't matter whether you are very poor or very rich. It doesn't really matter. People have money, and their money couldn't buy them their life at the point of no return. I'll leave that for now. I'm coming back to that of the petroleum and all of that hardship, okay? This is the guy I was talking about. It's a former minister. Yeah? He's a former minister of power in Nigeria. Do you recognize him now? That's the guy that took a 33.8 billion naira meant for the Mambila power project. While he was telling Nigerians that they are working under Boko Haram to give you power. This is the guy that succeeded Isaleko Barack Obama, Ajangbadi Albert Einstein, Fashola, your minister of darkness, potholes and homelessness, and the guy that succeeded him in the ministry of darkness. Now, this. The guy is now standing trial with the EFCC. Money meant for power, he used it to buy houses. Is that not what most of your criminal leaders do? Is that not what your politicians, is that not what they do? Money meant for provision of good roads, healthcare, security, education, paying good money to workers, right? Good, better, standard of good, should I call it better standard of living, right? To the people, they take the money to go and buy themselves houses, buy themselves cars. And then they still parade themselves as your leaders in the contraption. They walk about and say, we are the leaders. You need to pray for us. Those are the people they are asking you to pray for, by the way. So for PDP, see this is going on in PDP now, okay? You see these two guys, the guy in the middle is called Damagon. The one on the right is their secretary. You see the one in the middle and the one on the right? They are the acting chairman and the acting secretary of PDP. Two of them are loyalists of Werewike. And they are being funded by the PDP G-string governors before some of them left. Okay, so now Solomon Kede Ibadan, Werewike, Ekweazu, Egwanyi, Autumn, they belong to the same camp. Now the one on the left is their treasurer, PDP treasurer. So this morning, the supposed National Working Committee of PDP, they now suspended these two on the right, the one in the middle and the one on the right. They suspended them for anti-party activities. They appointed the one on the left. Ali or something. Let me see. I think his name is something Ali. Okay. So they appointed the one on the left, right? Ahmed. His name is Yayari Ahmed. They appointed him as the now acting chairman of PDP. So this afternoon, the guy in the middle and the guy on the right, they went to court. And the court gave an order, Nigeria court, they gave an order that these two cannot be removed by anybody. Supposedly, right, the political party, National Working Committee, have the power to either remove anyone or put them in acting capacity, because they were the ones who put these two in acting capacity. Now they removed them, right? So they call them justice or motosho. You know how You don't give them already. You don't give them injunction already. Injunction says the National Working Committee of PDP, they have no power to remove these guys or suspend them. The same people that appointed them, National Working Committee that appointed them, they now remove them. So the court says, no, you can't do that. You know, say, with a weekend a life bencher. Yeah, it's a life bencher. With a weekend until his death, is going to be member of the Nigerian bench, as in the Nigerian judges, stuff like that. You get? Yeah, he's a life bencher. That is why in Rivers State, he was building houses for the judges. In Abuja, he's about to start building houses for the judges as one of them. So getting injunctions like that is now water. So PDP will never have peace. Ever. You get that now? It's not going to happen. So those of you probably are looking forward to seeing a PDP that will challenge Tifnumbu. You are deluded. And I'm here to tell you. So now, this guy on the right is supposed to be the acting chairman with the effort of trying to get at Wirewike. Because once they get rid of these two on the right, the one in the middle and the one on the right, once they get rid of them, it's going to be a matter of time before they get rid of Wirewike. But since there is a court injunction that says no, they can't remove them. So they are back to square zero now. So PDP now have two national chairmen. The one on the left, Yayari Ahmed, and the one on the right, in the middle, his name is Umar Damagon. So that is what they are going to drag from this year to next year and the year after it. Here is another thing again. Remember when the last time Nnamdi Kanu appeared in court and his lawyers, they were acting so stupid, confused, trying to say, no, we can't stand trial, we can't have any trial if this court is not going to obey the Supreme Court nonsense that that guy was spewing. Right. So Nnamdi Kanu had to stand up by himself, for himself in court and faced Muritala Nyako, the woman on the left. To the point that by the time Nnamdi Kanu finished defending himself in front of her, giving her the reasons why she is a compromised judge, that he will never get any fair hearing with her, then she recused herself. After that day, she excused herself. That's what that means. When you recuse yourself from a case, it simply means that you withdraw yourself and say, okay, I'm not going to handle it anymore. Take your case elsewhere. I won't do it. Now, there is this madman on the right. That is the chief judge of Nigeria's High Court. His name is Soho. Soho, after receiving the letter of the woman on the left, saying, I don't want to be part of Nnamdi Kanu's case anymore. Take it elsewhere, because Nnamdi Kanu said he doesn't want me anymore. This man on the right looked at it and then sent it back to her and said, no, you continue with the case. Do you see what we're talking about? Yeah, I said, you know what? You are the one that we want to handle it. Continue just toying with it and playing with it. Don't worry about anything else, okay? Because what they want is a pronouncement. But there is something I want to show you. Let me search it and put it on my screen. Okay. In 2022, yeah, an appeal court in Nigeria, right, ruled that Nnamdi Kanu, right, that was in October. I don't know if you remember, but don't worry, I'll put it on the screen, okay, so that it won't be like I'm just saying it. Give me a sec, okay? An appeal court on the 13th of October, 2022, ruled that Nnamdi Kanu, right, hang on, no, what's this? Yeah. Ruled that Nnamdi Kanu must be returned back to Kenya because his abduction was so illegal and it has rendered all legal standing of Nigeria illegal, irrelevant, because they kidnapped him. In that CO, I'll read it to say, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja on Thursday upheld the appeal of the detained leader of the proscribed IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. The court also discharged and acquitted the embattled leader of the proscribed group. Kanu had, in his appeal dated April 29th that year, 2022, applied to be discharged and acquitted. Kanu was first arraigned on December 23rd, 2015, and was later granted bail on the 25th of April, 2017. However, the Court of Appeal on Thursday declared as illegal and unlawful the abduction of Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria and quashed the entire terrorism charges brought against him by the federal government. The appellate court held that the federal government breached all local and international laws in the forceful rendition of Kanu to Nigeria, thereby making the terrorism charges against him incompetent and unlawful. The appeal court, in a judgment by Justice Oludotun Adebola, voided and set aside the charges by the federal government against Kanu. The appellate court proceeded to discharge Kanu from the alleged offenses. Justice Adebola held that failure of Nigeria to follow due process by way of extradition was fatal to the charges against Kanu. The appeal court further held that the failure of the federal government to disclose where and when the alleged offenses were committed was also fatal to the terrorism charges and made them liable to dismissal. So, reacting to the judgment, Kanu's lawyer and human rights activist Ifeanyi Ejiofor wrote, appeal allowed, Onyendu, Maazi Nnamdi Kanu discharged and acquitted. We have won. Right. So what happened after that? I'm just reminding you so that some of you kind of love to listen to all of the propaganda that Nigeria continued to spew. And that is why we told you then that keeping Nnamdi Kanu in their detention is illegal. Right? Malamu then appealed to the Supreme Court at the time and said they needed a stay of execution because they've lost all the lies, all of the media trial, all the propaganda, everything fell flat because they did not actually even have any chance of proving anything in court. Till tomorrow, they have nothing to prove in court that Nnamdi Kanu actually committed any crime. But majority of all these things, a lot of you hated him. Majority of what you have all come from the propaganda you have been fed on social media. And maybe your hatred for the Igbos, by the way. There are Igbos who also hated Nnamdi Kanu simply because they couldn't believe that somebody like Nnamdi Kanu controls such massive following. They were jealous of him, right? And because of that, they wanted him killed. They support Nigeria. They believe that, in fact, they were actually saying people who are following Nnamdi Kanu are illiterates, only for them to realize that they are the illiterates. The arrogant idiots, self-hating Igbos, who just wanted a man that they couldn't believe that both educated, uneducated, well-exposed, well-traveled businessmen, rich and also rich Igbos, actually listened to him. They couldn't believe it. That these people don't listen to their criminal politicians. They do not respect them per se. But that Nnamdi Kanu and his microphone, that Nnamdi Kanu and his social media platform is able to control the millions of people that respect him so much. They hated him for it. They wanted Nigeria to kill him, but they couldn't kill him. They couldn't jail him. They couldn't prove anything in their court. In their desperation, they violated international laws. They kidnapped him from Kenya. And their court told them that's so wrong. If you really want to try him, you have to follow the process of extradition. You need to return Nnamdi Kanu to Kenya. And you have to pay him 1.5 billion naira in damages. Return him to Kenya. then you can now go back to Kenya, okay, and begin the process of whatever accusation you have against him, you have to present it to the Kenya courts, okay, and apply for extradition. That is when you can